We're going to start. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Evan Mellum. That's right. There is claps happening in the background.
Oh, really? Yeah.
You can't hear it, but it's there.
Woo.
It's there. That was fantastic. Evan, who is going to win this weekend in Imola?
That's a really good question, actually. It's been a track where it's been sort of like, really weird. Like everything's happened.
Yeah.
So, but I'm hoping for maybe a Ferrari win. Maybe.
Are you a Ferrari guy?
I'm a Leclerc guy.
Okay. A Leclerc guy. You're that dedicated.
Yeah.
Since when?
Since 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aha. So you've been following for a minute.
Yeah. I actually started looking at it through a friend, and he was like, dude, you got to check out that Formula One. Like, it's the bomb.
But it wasn't through the Netflix show.
No. And then I realized there was like the big hype around the Netflix show. So
Okay.
I watched like the first 2 seasons, and yeah.
Because I started from the Netflix show. We both started watching the Netflix show at once.
Yeah, a lot of people have done that.
Yes. And that being my first kind of like in-depth understanding of Formula One, I wonder if that's created like a weird understanding of the sport for me. Like, do I appreciate it too much for the theatrics? Or
I guess it's a good thing, like, because you're more invested in it, like the drivers, the teams, the technology behind everything, like marketing, like the money behind. It's not just like the driving, even though that's pretty insane by itself.
Yeah.
So once you see the show, you kind of get an understanding of like everything around, and I think that's as long as you don't like get really like fixated over certain things. I think it's a good thing. Like, you get the whole package, and you understand a bit more than that it's just driving. Like,
did you care about the off-track drama before the show came out? No. Was that like a common understanding of Formula One?
Yeah, I think so. It was like, well, I've heard the friend who said I was I needed to watch Formula One. He was like, dude, 4 years ago it was like everything was happening, like film crews and everything. Like it was like, now it's like people put up like boards, and really secret, and like
even just in the pit lane on race days.
Yeah. And like 5 years ago, nothing was like that. So
no,
it's been it's been more like sort of like market focused. So I've actually started to look at MotoGP.
Oh, you have?
Because that has sort of like a old school Formula One vibe.
That's what
like
the cool.
Filming and
okay,
it's really cool actually.
The OGs of the Formula One game.
Yeah,
switching to motorcycles.
Yeah, or looking at both. It's a combined weekend. So
okay, was it cars for you first, or was it photography?
Cars, definitely. Like, I know it's cliche to say that as a kid you're like really into cars and stuff, but yeah, like every other guy is like, I've been into cars since I was like 4. So yeah.
Were you though? Since you were 4?
Yeah, really. Like, my dad loves cars. I love cars. He's like, we've been doing stuff and watching, like, we were like big into like rallying, like World Rally Championship, and we like bought every game and had like, it was really fun. So
rad.
Yeah.
What was the car that sort of did it for you? What was the car that hooked you forever?
I think that might have been actually a rally car, the old Citroen of Sebastian Loeb.
Oh, okay.
I think that was like, that car is like insane.
Yeah.
But then it's sort of like evolved. But I think the rallying, when I was like, around 7, 8, with the games and the driving, and we had like Petter Solberg.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and it was like huge. So I think that was the start.
Yeah. Did you ever get into it yourself?
Not really, actually. I've been looking at races from like time to time, but it actually been sort of like gone downhill.
Yeah.
But it's really cool sport indeed.
It's still cool?
I think so, because the sort of like every other motorsport is like had its like cuts.
Yeah.
Like you can't have this much power, this much noise, this much technology, and it's like, yeah, it's been all over the motorsports, but I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's something I have to get into.
Yeah,
because I haven't.
It's. I think it's hard to you sort of have to like get like one or maybe two sort of like motorsports.
Yeah,
and pay attention to those.
I need a Netflix show about rallying.
Basically, yeah.
Without that, there's no chance.
Yeah, and then you got Formula One and rallying.
Oh, that's it.
That's a good combo.
Are they like off season, or the rally season overlap with the Formula One season?
It's pretty much like rallying is like almost all year.
Oh, okay.
So it's a small time period, but it's pretty much the same sort of like stages and like.
What's the best rally stage?
I think Monaco.
Monaco?
Yeah. Because you have a lot of like tarmac as well as gravel, so it's a good combo.
And that for you makes the most interesting racing?
Yeah, it's like the scenery, and a lot of people don't really know that there's a lot of mountains in Monaco.
Yeah.
Like insanely.
Careful, the mic's right in front of you.
Yeah.
No, just pull it in front of your face and commit to that.
Yeah.
It's okay. I think most people aren't really watching anyway. I think they're just listening. So when did the photography come into play for you? Was it something to sort of add on to the car interest, or was it something completely on its own?
I think it was like, it really came like from a sideline. It sort of like, I've always been like really obsessed with like graphic design, like photography. I've done like Photoshop. My dad brought me like a book that was like 500 pages, like the basics of Photoshop when I was like 10. And he was like, here, learn this.
Insistent.
Yeah. And I did. And I think I have had a lot of like, sort of like things that I've learned because of it that have helped me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Not just with car photography, but graphic design and photography in general.
So did you did you study graphic design first then?
Not really. I did sort of like, it's called like media and communication.
Yeah.
And I did that for 3 years. And then it sort of like stopped for a year. Like I have a huge interest in it, and I helped out a lot of guys with like logo design and like small jobs here and there. Mm-hmm. But I was mainly focusing on, I had a warehouse job that I had like full time. So, but as that year passed, I sort of like, it just snowballed really.
Yeah. So then when did the camera come into play? When did you pick up a camera for the first time?
I think the first camera I got, or I didn't get, I stole my sister's camera. I was like 15, 14. 15.
Yeah. So you were young.
Yeah, pretty young. Yeah. But I like, when you start shooting, you shoot everything, like people, cars, landscape, whatever. Yeah. You shoot everything.
What did it take to sort of push you towards cars?
Well, I shot, I think the first car I shot, I was 21, 22.
Okay.
So
and this was for somebody, or was it just something you found?
A friend of mine got a new car, the Toyota GT86.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, and it was like, his first car.
Okay.
It was like huge. And we were like 20. Cool. And so that's really like, hey bro, you need to photo my car. And
that's a fun car.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, sure, man.
Yeah, 200 horsepower, rear wheel drive.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to drive.
Yeah, little mini drift champion. It's coming back. They're making a new one. Have you seen it? No. It looks pretty good.
Really?
I assume it's the actual one. I don't know if it's
just... Is it the GT86 or is the Subaru one?
I think it's called the GR86 now.
Really?
Yeah, let's see. Let's see if I can bring it up. GR's been making waves lately.
Nice.
GR86 now in pictures. Yeah, here you go.
Yeah, updated facelift.
Yeah, not so different from what it was.
Yeah. What's the look on it behind?
Sorry? Oh, yeah. This, this is probably the best one.
I don't know.
Maybe a little too domesticated.
The front is okay, but that back is...
It looks too boring.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Like the old lights is bomb.
Yes.
I do like the tail.
GR86. Let's see. Versus GT86. Let's bring it up.
Yeah.
Let's see. Does somebody have a side by side? Oh, there's like a slider. Somebody's on it. Let's see if we can get this to work. Chances are it won't. These things never do.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go. Okay. So.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. It's the original and the new one. Ooh.
Okay, I like the new front.
Yeah, I'm back and forth. I like the sharper lines here up on the front shoulders.
I like the top part of the old one better.
Yes, with the dimple. What is that called? There's an actual name to that. I forget.
Good question.
Where it drops in the middle of the roof.
Yeah, I like that a lot more.
It's a little bit sharper in the old one. Yeah, I don't know. It looks...
it's sort of like they have... It's like they've like... Kind of, I like the word you used, domesticated it, I think.
Yeah, right? Yeah. They took some of the punch out of it. It's like they created the Supra and then the GR Yaris, and that was like their lineup. They're like, this is going to be the sporty lineup.
And we're going to go back on this one.
Yeah, let's make the GT86 just a little bit less impressive. Maybe a little bit more sellable.
Maybe.
Because, right, the GT86 took over when the Celica was kind of dead. This is a non-Supra era.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is all they had to sort of impress people. So I think maybe they toned it down by
They could be doing it because of the new Supra. So they just have that car in that Spectre, so just take it back.
Since the new Supra is so much more expensive than what the Supra was supposed to be. Yeah. Really? Maybe this is like the mini Supra.
Possibly.
In which case, could they just brand it as a mini Supra? Kind of like the Mustang Mach-E.
Supra, yeah.
That'd be interesting. I wonder if anybody would ever buy it then.
But like everything that GR touches is pretty much gold. So
have you driven the Yaris?
Yeah.
Have you?
Goddamn.
What do you think?
Like small hatches.
Yeah.
Nothing beats it.
No, it's that good.
Yeah, it's like
everybody keeps saying that.
Yeah. The only thing I don't like about it is that you're kind of sitting really high.
Okay.
So you get sort of like a go-kart, but it's like elevated. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the only part I don't like.
Is it different, the seating position from the normal Yaris? Do you know?
It's not that much of a difference, actually.
Okay.
So it's like sort of, you have like touches inside that's like it's a GR, but the main issue I had is the seating position.
Okay.
Otherwise, perfect car.
It looks fun.
Yeah, it's so much fun. Like you can, it doesn't matter if it's like tarmac, snow, ice.
Yeah.
You're just going like a bullet.
I want to try that car. There's one that drives past here every day, and every time I see it, I try to take a picture.
Like cool. I struggled a lot to try it.
Okay.
I asked Toyota. I asked like the importer. Like no one was like, nope. We only do like press stuff and like you can't.
So this was a while ago, maybe before dealerships had it.
No, it was like through one of the guys who does drifting in Bergen.
Oh, okay. And he had one.
Yeah,
or he had a contact.
Yeah, they were doing like stuff about it. So
okay,
pretty cool.
Damn, jealous. That's on my list.
Yeah. It was on my list a long time.
I have to try that. I really wanted, and still kind of want, the A1 Quattro. The one they made 333 of them.
Yeah, the white one.
Yeah. It looks cool.
It looks real with those rims and everything. Yeah.
But I wonder if it's too heavy.
Really?
That's my only worry. That the Graris, I call it the Graris.
The GR
Yaris maybe is built more specifically towards the lightweight hatchback.
Maybe. But it feels really light. Like
I want to drive one.
Mobile and agile.
Damn, I want to drive one.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, one day.
There's a lot of people who've ordered the GR.
It's like 600,000 kroner. Though.
Yeah, but still, like,
Really?
everyone who's driven it is like
really,
yeah, like this
25,000 pounds in the UK, but almost triple the price or double the price here in Norway.
That's stupid.
That's insane.
Yeah.
How is that fair? Why do we get the short end of the stick when it comes to cars that suit Norway better?
It's actually really weird, like, and it's no wonder why people like import cars.
Yeah,
Like especially like German cars and
yeah.
and it's sometimes it's it's not like but why? And there's no apparent reason actually.
It doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, it's just like
arbitrary punishment.
Yeah.
For wanting.
This is a fun car? No.
Yeah, exactly.
Like denied.
Exactly.
Next car.
It's so weird. Yeah. Speaking of cars, when did you first start getting paid for what you do?
I actually, well, it depends. Like like private people or companies?
I guess it was a private person first.
Yep.
Yeah. When was that?
That was probably a month, 2 months after the first shoot of the.
I thought you were going to say probably a month ago.
yeah. That was the first time. You know,
wow,
I do like pro bono.
Yeah,
that's just like
come a long way in 2 months.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was when you were 21.
Yeah, 21.
Okay.
The winter.
Did it feel like a lot of responsibility?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it sort of stepped up the feeling a bit more.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I felt like I had to deliver like 100 photos and like top quality. Like, I was really stressed out actually, but it turned out to be a good like experience.
Yeah. Did you learn more, or were you more proud of it, or were you more like, okay, here's a lot of things I need to fix about my photography?
Yeah, probably the latter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, is this even good enough to get paid? And I was like really insecure. But my dad, he was like, no, you just gotta edit the photos, send them like quick.
Is your dad a creative?
Yeah. He's
because it seems like he really pushed you in that direction.
Yeah,
or enabled you.
He's sort of like he runs his own company where he like draw houses and stuff.
Okay.
So
okay. Like an architect of sorts. Yeah. Badass.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So that's where you got your photoshopping skills.
Yep.
Because your style is very refined.
I haven't seen anyone sort of like.
Not in Norway, at least.
No, yeah. No. I've seen a couple of, but that's why I feel like I'm heavily sort of like influenced of like US stuff.
Do you have any photographers in specific?
I really like Stephen Thompson
and
Daniel Bronstein.
Yep.
Guy with the camera.
Guy with the camera.
Yep. Those guys are like, when it comes to natural light, it's like bomb.
Yeah.
And when it comes to like strobing and the sort of the guy who got me to that one is Jeremy Cliff.
Jeremy Cliff. Do I know him?
Just search him up. It's
bring him up.
Actually insane.
Actually insane.
Yeah, like his work with
spelled
Cliff, I think.
Photography. Let's stick with this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. Of course I've seen the Murata shots I've seen before.
Yeah. The barn find.
Yeah. These shots are so
clean. They got pretty much like the internet sort of like started burning when these.
And they were painted? There's one flash at least. Were they painted or were they
It's a combo.
Strobed. Okay.
So
it seems like a lot of his work has that.
Yep.
Super clean.
Yeah, it's actually pretty insane when it comes to like light stuff.
Yeah, I can see your style pretty heavily.
Yep.
Coming from there.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I don't know how he did it. I sort of like looked at the photos and thought like, okay, maybe he did it like this, and I tried to do like sort of replicate.
Does he have like a behind the scenes?
I don't think so. I've searched a lot to try to find like high-end photographers who do like workshops and stuff, but I haven't seen anything from Jeremy.
No, he's a talented man.
Yeah.
So when you started, were you trying to emulate like certain photographs, or did you just sort of have a technique in mind and say, I'm going this way?
I feel like when it comes to sort of like getting a style and like doing photos, I think you have to combine stuff. Like I love like Jeremy stuff. I love Stephen Thompson stuff. And when you sort of like combine stuff, I get the Evan Mellum style.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's sort of like a...
So could you go through like your latest photos and be like, that's that guy, that's that guy?
No, not now, but earlier I could easily. Like,
yeah.
Now it's just, yeah, that's me. That's me.
Do you find that was easier back then? Like if you were starting again, would you have done the same, or would you have just sort of ignored other people's styles?
I would have done exactly the same, I think.
Yeah.
Because, well, that's because I saw like a documentary about creativity and how like the issue with like an idea.
Yeah.
What is plagiarizing and what is sort of like adding on stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And after I saw that, I was like, makes perfect sense. Like, take 4 things you really like and combine stuff, and then it's sort of like a new thing.
Do you still find yourself doing that?
Yeah. I try to sort of like incorporate stuff and learn new like techniques and types of photography. Like I had last summer, I tried to do astrophotography with cars.
Yeah.
Sort of like combine that, and that turned out pretty good. And it sort of like challenged you in a whole new way, like how you're thinking like, okay, the car guy like thinks about like composition and car, and then you have to like switch to like astrophotography and like, okay, how I'm gonna do this. And it's sort of like, yeah, I really like combining stuff.
Is the photo online?
Yeah, it's actually on my Instagram.
How?
Maybe it's on my webpage, mellummedia.com.
Mellummedia.com.
Yeah.
There you go. That's your plug. That's the one plug you get for the whole podcast.
Hell yeah. I think it's the Mercedes one, a bit down.
Mercedes one.
Bottom there. Just click that.
There you go.
And
you see all the image retention on my screen? It's so poor.
whoa.
Yeah, I know. These are clean. I just realized I'm not sharing them. There we go. SLR? Or no?
SLS.
SLS, of course.
But it's the electric one. It's one of 8 in the world.
Yeah, maybe for a good reason.
Yep.
I'm not a huge fan of this car.
Really?
No.
I think it's sick. But I bumped my head like 6 times in the door when I was going in and out. So.
The SLS is sick in itself, but there you go. Okay, so a few questions. One exposure? No, because there's multiple stars.
Yep. So you have a back, sort of like a back layer of the car shot where you have like stars.
Yeah.
And then this is like 8 or 7 or 8
Okay.
exposures.
Aha.
So like wheels, ground, back, sky, car, like, yeah.
And do you think in terms of, like, do you think of it as 2 photos almost? Like
Yeah,
one photo of the
definitely.
car and one of the background?
Yeah, definitely. But when you combine it, it's something completely different.
Yes. So which one would you focus on when you're shooting something like this? Like which photo would you start with?
Definitely the car. Because if you nail the car, you can basically take it out.
Yeah.
And focus on. So I spent a whole day at this is the same airport that the earlier photos are taken at. So I spent
airport. Cool spot.
It was a really cool spot, and it was not in use when I was there. So I had the entire airport for like 6 in the evening to like early morning, and I was out all night.
So you arrive, you put the car in the position you want, you pick the angle that you want first. In taking that many photos, you have like a checklist in your mind as to which photos you're going to start with? Like what part of the car do you light first?
It really depends on the car, but I definitely have sort of like either it's like chronological with the photos. Like if I do strobing, I do like front right, front left, and I do like I go through a list like, okay, this, and then I do like interior, maybe light up here, the ground, background. So I have sort of like a list in my head of the shots I'm taking.
So would you ever use more than one light?
I've never, well, I have done it when I do like, I have done like sale photos.
Yeah.
Of course. I use a triple setup.
Okay.
But when I'm out on location, I've sort of like spent the last 2 years like sort of like combining to a running gun setup. So I have one light, so I can bring everything with me in one bag.
Okay.
So
do you find it easier to work with one light?
It's not easier, but it's...
You don't think so? Sometimes I think it is.
It depends. Like some situations I wish I had, not for the use of it, but to see how the light sort of like reflects, and like the left side of the car, like when you have reflections and stuff. So the entire area, like I didn't know that. Like you spend a lot of time going back and forth and shooting and strobing and just looking like at the reflections to see if it works. But if you have a multi-light setup, you sort of like get the image instantly. So it's sort of like a double-edged sword. Yeah.
What about when you started learning? Like when you started first working with strobes and lights and things like that, did you like itch to get to the point where you could use multiple, or?
I don't think so. I sort of like when I was doing like just photos in Bergen, I got in touch with the Porsche center there, and I was like, I saw there was a GT2 RS up there and it was like, yeah, we're gonna have this car here for a week, and I was like, sure, yeah, can I come up and shoot it? And I did, and the guy who did sales photos at Porsche, he was like, the day after he was talking to the sales guys, and they was like, okay, I need someone to help me here in Bergen, like do car photography and like the sales photos. So I actually got a freelance job working for him.
Nice.
To do the sales photos.
How long were you?
About a year.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did sales photos like 1 day a week at Porsche. And that was actually my sort of like introduction to lights, like external light. So
who was that with?
It was with a guy called Turoga.
Okay.
He runs like photo events. You can check out his webpage.
Let's see. What is his webpage?
It's called photoevent.no.
Photo event.
A photo with...
the normal way of spelling photo.
Actually.
The correct way.
Yeah, the correct way.
Does he have...
like car photography, yeah.
So he does most of this himself, or he's using freelancers?
He does a lot himself, traveling back and forth, and I sort of like, helped him like cover Bergen, basically.
Okay.
So he taught me a lot of like car like compositions and like lighting, and so that was a huge help in the beginning.
Was that sort of your main source of learning? Was it from other photographers, or did you?
I think
how much
YouTube.
time do you put into it? Yeah.
I when people ask me, I say that I'm self-taught because I spent like 10 hours a day, like just like acquiring knowledge. And it's, but I feel like you have to do that now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Totally. Like it doesn't, like I had a friend who went to like a photography school, and he said himself like, we don't actually learn that much. It's sort of like it's either business side, or it's sort of like the basics and then storytelling.
Okay,
but not really as much like technical and like angles and how light, like it's really weird actually.
Mm-hmm.
So you learn like a lot from YouTube.
Who are you following on YouTube?
I've been watching a couple of guys, but one of the guys I've learned the most from, I think, would be Mo. If you've heard of him. Yeah. He's a car photographer from Bahrain.
I think I have. I must have.
Yeah, and he's really good at getting people from the community car photography community to like share knowledge of the things like their expertise in.
Okay.
So there you have like guys, Alex McKenzie, who's talking about like composite work, and then you have Jimmy Zhang from the US, who's like master at strobing and lighting, and he's like, and he's been like curating people to do like tutorials and stuff. So I learned a lot from him.
So let's talk a little bit more practically, whatever that means. Let's. I want to get into how you do what you do. How do you practice, for one? This is a question I think a lot of people who are getting into the car photography scene want to know. Where do you find subjects?
Well, car photography.
Yeah.
Okay. It's one of two, I think. Well, it's not really two. I think you have car dealerships. If you want to practice and like get better at like car photography, they are more than welcome to let you lend a car and do some photography for free, because they always want photography like in a folder somewhere so they can post it on social media. And the other one is actually car meets, to get to know people and create a network of like every guy who has a car is most likely want to have some photos of it. So
if you're going to a car meet, where do you start? Like, would you have business cards in hand? Would you be walking around with a camera, shaking hands?
I think like I used business card a little while, but I've actually gone away from it. I feel like if people want to know, I just link to my webpage or Instagram and they can take it from there. But I think just showing that you're interested in like taking photos is more than enough. Like wearing a camera, shooting stuff, and if you see a cool car, just shoot it and then ask the owner if he wants the photo sent to him, and sort of like if he really likes the photos, then maybe he's gonna ask you for a shoot someday, and then you can make some money. Like it's, but I think you have to like be on the
How much of your job is a business? Like, how much do you see yourself as a businessman versus an artist?
I've turned into a businessman this year, I think.
This year?
Yeah.
What changed?
I started, I switched to OS.
Yep.
And I had to do, like, everything. So, like, marketing, like, getting clients, the backside of things, like, logistics, like, everything. And I sort of, like, there was actually one point where I thought, like, okay, I need to hire someone because this is draining me, like. But I've been, like, lucky to have my parents who helped me a lot. So
yeah,
my mom's an accountant, so that helps.
Oh yeah,
that part.
Yeah, that would help.
Yeah, and my dad's sort of like a creative nut when it comes to all sort of ideas, and everything I do, I normally just send to him and say, like, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
So having those people around me has really helped me a lot, but I still feel like I'm a businessman. Yeah.
Yeah, I know the feeling. It's a necessary evil sometimes.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
In the business. Yeah. So alternatively, if there are no car meets anywhere near you, you're stuck in the middle of who knows where, but you still want to learn. How would you approach a dealership?
Okay, do you have any photos prior, or is it just from scratch?
Yeah, good question. How would you do it from scratch? That I'm curious about.
That one, I wouldn't. I wouldn't go near a car dealership if I didn't have anything.
Why not?
Because it's much easier for them to say yes if you have something to show them.
But what's the risk you would be taking by going without something to show?
I think they would look at you maybe as a... Well, I have talked to salespeople who say that they're like really sort of like looking at people who just want to joyride.
Yep.
So they could think you're just going in to take the car for a spin.
Yeah.
Not really just take photos. So I think having photos prior is key.
How would you get the photos prior? Because it sounds like it's hard to start unless you have something to show.
Yeah, but it is.
But you'll have nothing to show if you haven't started somewhere.
Exactly. So I think in the like I did, take photos of your friends' cars.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. Like if it's good photos, it will show through. Like, and having social media today, like ask people in the vicinity where you're living. Like if you know a guy who has a cool car, should send him a message. Like
it's crazy how easy it is to ask people for these things when you flatter them.
Yeah.
If you send them a message and let them know how much you appreciate what they're doing.
I love your car.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. I would love the chance to shoot it, kind of thing.
Special, yeah.
Let them think they're offering you an opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is that was important to understand for me from the beginning.
Yeah.
And it took me a while to understand that, because you think you're the person with a camera, you've got something that they're going to want, like, hey, when are we going to shoot your car kind of thing. And
yeah, and it's not like that at all.
No, it's hard to get what you want when you're going from that point of view. But so you've shot your friend's Volvo 240.
Yep.
You've got these awesome photos. Now you're ready to step it up and go to a dealership and practice on some newer cars. How do you approach them with the photos you already have?
I think the best thing is just meet up in person. I know a friend of mine who recently started doing car photography, and he was like looking at the opportunity at car dealerships, but he only sent like emails to like, and he got like one response from 30 emails. And it's like a lot easier to sort of like meet up in person. And like if you have a friend of mine in Kristiansand, he actually printed out a book, so he had like physical photos,
like a portfolio.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And he was like, I'm gonna leave this here for tomorrow, check the photos out, let's see if we can work together.
Okay, so he printed one and then would just let dealerships borrow it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I really like that idea.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like you have tactile stuff, and
it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, but it really shines through. Like you're gonna do the little extra stuff.
What are the magic words? Like what would you say?
Free.
Yeah.
Free.
Okay.
Definitely free. If you're doing stuff for free, no one's gonna say no. So
yeah.
If your goal is to sort of practice and get better, I think you kind of have to like walk that down that road, at least for a little while.
Is that a dangerous precedent to set for yourself, though?
I think
it's these for free.
Well, I think it's sort of like if you have to sort of like grab yourself by the neck in a certain time, because if you do everything for free, then it's really hard to sort of like ask for money.
Yeah.
So I think
nobody's going to want to when you do ask for money.
Exactly.
Well, we could have got it free, so.
Yeah. But then sort of like if you do stuff like for free for a certain while, and you can like show that you've gone better, like you can maybe do it faster, and then sort of like, but ask for money. But I feel like it's more than just you sort of have to explain like why charge.
Yeah.
Like, because I use this much time. Like
You could offer usage rights.
Yeah,
for example.
exactly. Yeah. So it's like at the point where you're going to ask for money, you have to at least justify for yourself, but for the client as well, that this is actually worth the money.
Yeah. It's kind of a tricky question, but how in the beginning, when you are starting to ask for this money, how do you value yourself?
Oh, that's hard. That's really hard.
Yeah. Because nobody out there is talking about it.
No.
Nobody's going to tell you what number to ask for.
That's a touchy subject.
So we're I'm not asking you for what number to start with, because nobody's going to give you that. That's never going to be a given. You'll have people recommend it, but the people who do talk about it are usually wrong or have a strange understanding of their value.
But like
how do you think about your own value? How do you convince yourself that your photos are worth something?
I feel like you have to sort of like do maybe a monthly stuff, sort of like an idea of where every month you do sort of like a recap of like what you've done, have you gotten better, and then you can sort of like, okay, if I asked like friends who said, I said like, what would you be like comfortable if I said like, hey, if you like, okay, you're the client.
Yes.
I'm gonna, you have a car.
Yep.
And you want photos of it.
It's a sweet car too.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
It's a Porsche.
It's a 71 Dodge Challenger.
Oh damn.
440.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, it's a monster.
Okay. You want some photos for it?
I mean, kind of. I can be convinced.
Okay. What will you be comfortable with? Like sort of like price range. If I say 10 photos.
Me?
Yeah.
Personally?
Yeah. Free?
I'm taking my own photos.
Okay. But it's sort of like you have to ask a lot of friends like, what would you be comfortable with?
Yeah.
Photos. And it started like 1,000 kroner like for 10 photos, like 100 a photo. And I was like, yeah, I feel like I can charge that.
Yeah.
And I started charging that.
Yep.
And then it's sort of like I did like monthly and quarterly, like looked at what I had, what like
you would actually like sit down with your material
and like ask my dad like, okay, go through everything and sort of like, okay, do I raise my prices or do I like sort of stay where I am? So
that is interesting. I think that's a very unique practice. I don't think a lot of people do that.
I haven't. It's sort of a thing that I took from a YouTuber. It's a channel called Future.
Okay.
And they do like stuff for graphic designers and like a lot of people who do not photography in general, but you can I sort of like took an idea they talked about where they like, okay, when can you charge this for a logo and this for a logo, like, and I sort of like took the steps and stuff and sort of like made it work for me as a photographer. So
did you try other forms of photography before you sort of committed to cars?
Not really. I just I've like I said, I've been through like every type. Like I've done landscape, babies, dogs, like horses.
You have?
Yeah, I've tried a lot of stuff. But car photography was like, when I took photos, I was like, found it. Like, this is the one. But especially when Corona hit, I sort of like, okay, I need to have more legs to stand on. So I started doing more like portraits, product photography, like started looking at like tutorials on YouTube for different, like, yeah.
That's funny. That is the exact opposite of what I did.
Really?
Yeah.
You want the...
I was doing so much. Last year before March, I was doing so much. I was shooting tons of random shit. And then Corona hit and I just like, wait, like I don't care about any of it.
Yeah, that's it.
Why am I wasting my life on shooting like random, I don't know, hotel rooms or something that like, I don't care. It
doesn't give you anything.
No, it's just money.
Yeah.
It's just money. So I thought after Corona, that's kind of where the whole YouTube idea came from, is I have a lot of time to kill. Why not build a personality around the thing that I love shooting most? So that's when I started to focus a bit more on cars.
Yeah.
So that's interesting that was a turning point for both you and I, but we went completely different directions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, there's no right answer to that situation. That was fucked.
Every people I asked, like sort of like thought different and did different, but I feel like, especially here in Norway, we kind of got away with it. Like huge.
Yes, we had a lot of help. Yep. I asked the government for a lot of money. Yep. Yeah, it's part of the fun.
Yeah,
it's a part of the fun that nobody likes to talk about either, because there is some sort of stigma about
I think so, yeah.
being a freelancer and not succeeding for a certain part of your career.
Yep.
But that shit was hard. That was hard for everybody. That was insane. So I think a lot of people mentally fell through in that moment, especially like photographers. I saw a lot of photographers who just disappeared.
Yeah, same.
They were gone.
Yeah,
they're doing whatever else now to pay the bills. But it's not as embarrassing or big of a deal, I think, as a lot of people let it become.
Yeah.
So I think for the people who did leave photography, like there's still room. Just come back.
Yeah. I've actually seen a lot of photographers that has come through in Corona.
Yeah.
Because they maybe got like fired or like something happened, and then they sort of like had sort of like a hobby photo stuff going, and they just went for it in that Corona. So
yeah,
you have people like that as well. So
it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy how one big event affected so many people so differently.
Yeah, it's massively. I don't think we have seen like the end of sort of.
No. This will last years.
Yeah,
this will last years.
Yeah.
But have you seen a lot of work coming back in the car industry?
Yeah, like end of 2020, sort of like they started like opening the doors.
Yeah.
Again, but at
for you, did it come back in the form of commercial stuff or private shoots, or what came back first?
I think that was the commercial stuff, because it's like in April, March, when they like really shut down, everyone like locked their market budgets and like, nope, we're not gonna spend another corona. Like, yeah, it was insane. And at a certain point in late summer, I think, it sort of felt like they were like, oh, like shit, it's gonna be open one day. Like we need to spend money on. Like,
yes.
Yeah. So it's sort of like, let's say from August and like 2020, I think they started like opening up. And
is it? I think everybody noticed that.
Yeah.
Everybody in the creative or in the media field. Yeah. We all noticed that. Like all this stuff had to be done. We couldn't do it during those like 4 months in the middle.
Exactly. So I think it was a lot of project that sort of like got pushed. Yeah. So I noticed a lot of like jobs and work in the creative scene.
Yeah.
During that time period, last months of 2020.
So who were you shooting with today?
Today I was shooting with Suzuki.
How'd that go?
Actually, pretty good.
You were, what kind of shoots? What were you guys going for? If you're allowed to talk about it.
Yeah, I don't think that's a problem actually. We're gonna go for sort of like a brand spot type of thing for spring.
Okay.
2021.
Oh, nice.
So from May, I don't think it's spring actually. It's sort of like from May to July.
Okay. Like
early summer. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's another one planned. So
nice.
Yeah, this is sort of like the spring catalog.
Nice. Call it that. Man. Yeah. Anything big coming up?
I had those 2 jobs, and I have some commercial stuff in Bergen, but nothing really now until May.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing planned at least.
I got a huge job, but I'm like, signed an NDA and stuff. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But that's not until May. So
nice.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
You got some time.
Yeah.
So what would you do? What do you do with your spare time?
Like right now, I have started a studio in Bergen.
You have?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
So
fantastic.
I've spent a lot of time like getting it up and running, and
Nice. When is it going to be open and ready to go?
it's open now.
It is open now.
April.
Nice. Fantastic.
So I've done some product photography and like sort of stuff, which
Yep.
is up on my web.
Nice.
So yeah, it's but it's been sort of like a fun and stressful experience doing stuff like that.
Did you build a studio yourself?
I sort of like got rented a place and then sort of like built stuff and
Nice.
got a photo booth and got like a lounge area. And
Nice.
so it's nice, but it's not like intended for car photography.
No.
I've planned ahead like 5 years, and I have a idea of what I want to do.
Yeah.
With a spot that's combined, where I can take a car in, but
Yes.
not priority one right now.
That's on all of our lists.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be nice if we didn't have to live in the cities for that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that would save us a lot of effort,
Yep.
a lot of money.
A lot of time.
Yes. So do you see your style changing in the future? Like, can you predict where your photography is going to go from here?
I think you sort of like change like all the time when it comes to style and workflow, and like of course you do your stuff sort of like in Lightroom and Photoshop, but you will always like evolve and
Yeah.
So I think like if I see like stuff I did last year, I was like, what the what is this, like what did I think of here, like, and it's but that's a good thing because it means like you're progressing and like
Yeah.
so in a year from now I'm probably gonna look at stuff I did now and think what the like but style wise I think I've found sort of like my style both in like natural lights but also as with the strobe, but I do like to experiment, so I'm not gonna say that I'm sticking to it.
No, we should. I really want to film something with you where we just experiment for a day.
Yeah, that would be fun.
We just get a bunch of different types of light sources, different gels, just whatever, and just play around.
Get a cool car and like...
That's high up on my list, yeah. Yes, I think we can make that happen pretty soon, actually. You just need to find the time.
Yeah. I need to get in Oslo more often.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. I guess a lot of the work that you're looking for is over here.
Yeah, it actually is. Because I have a girlfriend now in Bergen, and she isn't finishing until school in 3 years.
Okay.
So I've said that I'm if I didn't have her, I would like move.
Yeah.
But
she's important.
Yeah.
Apparently. Yeah. Nice.
And I feel like I can do like stuff like this where every time I'm in Oslo, I'm like 2-3 days, but it's like packed. Like shoot this day, then like morning, then afternoon, and it's like it just like
podcast.
Yeah, podcast. I'm having 2 shoots later today, so
busy.
Yep,
busy man. Yep. Are you so? You're first and foremost a car guy.
Definitely.
Do you have a car that you have your eyes on right now?
That I want to shoot?
Not that you want to get, you want to buy and drive.
Oh.
What's on your list at the moment? What is your top searched on Finn.no?
It's actually 3 cars, but you can sort of like think of it like 2 different approaches. Because number 1, I want to build a car and live in it and like.
Oh yeah. You want to do that?
Yeah.
I want to do van life.
Yeah. But my girlfriend is like, hell no. So I think it's more like the second one, and I've been like searching the web for 2 cars.
Okay.
GT3 Touring.
Yep.
In Brewster Green.
Are you?
I have.
You're looking in that price range now.
Yeah, I'm like, I want a car like that.
Yeah, GT3 Touring would be the best.
Like, yeah, 991. Yeah.
Okay.
Or
430
Scuderia.
Yeah.
Manual.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Single clutch.
Yep.
Yeah. That's a fun car.
Most likely in sort of like the Avention Blue, I think it's called.
Okay.
The baby blue one.
That's a fun car.
Yeah.
Why Ferrari?
I've actually never sort of had any relationship towards Ferrari.
No. Norwegians and Porsche.
Yeah, that's more like
kind of interlocked.
Yes, yeah. But Ferrari is more like it's more like emotion special. Like, but after I did the Porsche job, I had with me Herman Schmidt.
Okay,
and he worked at Tuxo.
Oh yeah, okay.
So he has like a lot of knowledge in Ferrari and stuff. And after he talked and like said this was the best car and this is great.
I think Auto Exo still has one.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
but not in the spec I want.
Ooh, picky.
Yeah, I know. But that's the same with the GT3 as well.
Yeah,
there isn't one like that in Norway.
No, it's tough.
Yeah,
Norwegians like silver.
Yeah, that's sad. And black.
Yeah, it's too easy to find a silver or a black Porsche in Norway.
Yeah, it's actually sad.
No, the resale market has such a solid grasp on the new car market.
Yeah, definitely.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane actually.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Like when a person sort of like gets and it could be like a racing yellow Porsche, and people are like, "Wow, you really like what?"
Yeah, like a classic Porsche color.
Yeah,
it's been around forever.
Yeah, forever. Like, and it's like, oh, you really like it?
Yeah.
Why not black? Like
even green, even like oak green or Brewster green.
Or Brewster green is like, so nice.
They're great colors.
Yeah,
and really I think they're modest.
I think they're like subtle. Like
I think so. I don't see why it wouldn't do well on the resale market, but nobody wants to take that risk.
Yeah, exactly. It's really weird. But
what are you driving now?
Right now, I have Suzuki actually.
Okay, any relation to the work that you're doing with them?
Sort of like I want to try it. So
okay,
but it's not. It's sort of like a in between car. I feel like it's sort of like it gets me from A to B.
Yes.
Yeah, and
we all need one of those.
Yeah, and that's it. So
we all need one of those. Yeah. Yes, the daily.
The daily.
The daily is a tough one.
Yeah,
that's. It's one of those cars that like you want it to be good, but you don't want to invest
anything in it.
Yeah.
I know.
It's a weird, unfortunate line that you have to walk across or walk along. Yeah, I mean I think we've covered most of it. Do you have anything you want to bring up? Anything you want to plug?
No, I think I've plugged enough. But
you want to apologize for Ferrari losing this weekend? Because this will come out.
Yeah.
This will come out after they lose.
Lewis comes last corner and like sticks in front of Leclerc. So
really, you think Leclerc is going to lead into the last corner?
No, okay, he's not going to do that. I'm just being optimistic now.
Yeah, okay. I'm excited to see how it goes out of the way, and I'm excited, as always, to follow your photography and to film with you soon. We'll be shooting together.
That would be fun.
We'll find something. I want to learn how to light paint.
And I want to learn everything you know. Everything.
I'm trying to put it on the internet day by day. But I'm going to run out of things very fast. I promise you.
Looking forward to it.
Sweet, man. Then that's it for me. Thank you for being here. I'm happy. If you guys enjoyed, like, subscribe, all of the above.
Yeah.
And go follow Evan. What is your Instagram tag?
It's Evan Mellum.
Evan Mellum. There you go. All 5 people who made it this far in the podcast will go follow you. Sweet, man. On that note, that's it. Thank you very much.
Yeah.